So I was very impressed with what Mekhi did. I just think we need to get him out there more.
And then remember on the screen where he accidentally got tackled by Henry Latovsky, where he got lit up on the screen and then withstood the tackle. Then Henry tackled him.
Don't remind me about that. Golly. All this talent and this kind of playing. Bonelet. Let's to be fair, right? This I think a lot of us are getting a little too like. This is still year 3, right? We're supposed to take a big jump, but this is not going to be like. Again, I cautioned this right earlier this season, because last year again we started 3-0 and started that talk about But I'm just like we can't sit here and say college football playoff. I said this yesterday. Somebody tweeted out like if Nebraska beats Michigan, does it help them, or how much does it help them in their college football playoff, whatever? And somebody was like, it's too early to talk about. So I agree with you. Regardless, if we win this game, because this team isn't supposed to be a playoff team yet, right? They are a potential dark horse upside because of the talent, right? But again, it takes time to build depth. It takes time to build trenches. It takes time. Now, our offensive line, again, there's no excuse, but the depth that some of these teams have and the championship medal that some of these teams have, versus what Nebraska was, man, it's hard sometimes. But like the depth that a team like a Michigan has, the depth that a team like, these teams that have been winning in recent years and they have, 5-star classes, like they have a lot of that depth. And so we're getting a lot of talent, yes, but you got to think, we're still a 25th ranked recruiting class team. We're not in that top 15, top 10 recruiting classes yet, right? And so yeah, it's year 3, right? 8, 9, 10 wins. That's what we're looking at. Can you back up and come again? Sorry about that. So on some areas I do agree, but I think in my opinion, I think the areas in which we struggle are the areas that we know. And I'll wait for Brian. Brian, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we have talent. But the thing about it is the areas that we know that we have lacking talent, those are the areas that we're struggling in. It's no secret. That's
exactly what I was thinking while you were talking.
Talent stepping up.
Yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking about where is this talent now? Because we know it's there. Where is it? Well, it's primarily at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's at running back, more or less. It's at receiver. It's in the secondary. Where do you and linebacker? I'll give linebacker because I really think Vincent Shavers is going to continue his rise. I think Wells McGahee in time will be good, but it's not very deep in talent on your defensive line. It's not very deep in talent on your offensive line, and what talent you do have is incredibly young. On the defensive line, like Riley Van Poppel, people forget he's still a sophomore. Yeah. Cameron Lenhart is a junior who didn't play a ton last year. And like
we knew it was just experience. That's what we said the whole time.
And like Williams Noarni is a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
At offensive line, Justin Evans Jenkins is okay. Justin Evans. He doesn't have the Jenkins part anymore of his last name. But Justin Evans is his first year at center.
Yep.
And then the talent behind them is Grant Bricks, who's a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
Preston Taumua, who is a redshirt freshman. Houston Kahania Torres, true freshman. Gibson Pyle, redshirt freshman.
Yep.
It's very young. Even Elijah Pritchett is a sophomore.
Yeah.
And so it's very young, and it's not like you can't play them and let them get that experience. There is a big difference between, like, we have issues, right? Like Gunnar Gatula did not play great today, but at his backup, whoever it is at this point, like they are obviously not as good as Gunnar Gatula.
Is Pritchett's a junior?
And maybe that's the bad example. Maybe Teddy Prohaska would be a better example.
I think Pritchett's a junior.
Is he?
Yeah, I think. Double check. Because if he's a sophomore, that's much better.
I think he's a redshirt sophomore.
Hats off to Raiola. Kid played injured. Yeah, he did get rolled up on his ankle a little bit. He did play well. Appreciate that, Cliff. Thanks.
You're right. He's a junior.
Shout out to Cliff. Michigan guys I know are pretty cool, man. For the most part, they're not too bad. Let me see. Where was it at? And what the hell? Not that non-offsides call. The offsides player didn't threaten the offensive lineman who moved. I never heard of that before. I think what the call means is essentially, since it wasn't the side that the encroachment, the offsides happened, then they call that. I think it's a stupid penalty because the thing about it is you see out of your peripheral, which you're usually looking to see the ball snapped, you see movement and you move, right? I still think you're drawn there. He was drawn into that movement. I think it's a dumb rule. And I don't see it ever called, honestly. I always see that called as that to me was what pissed me off, is that call's never called in that way. It reads that way, but it's never called that way.
The DN that was on the side of Pritchett also flinched.
Oh, did he?
It was very minor in comparison to the guy that was on the same side as Teddy.
So the other guy basically saved his ass.
Yep. What frustrates me, and I was thinking this during the game, how many times do you see a defensive lineman flinch and come across?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be coached. If you're an offensive lineman and you see that D-line flinch and come across, you need to fucking launch into him.
Hit him. Just
because
put your
it's
hand
a free
on him.
5 yards.
Just like do this. Stick your hand up.
Yeah. Like it's super simple.
It's all you got to do. Route a good game, scouting pressure a lot. Yeah. Offensive defensive line are garbage. It's a very good way to put
confirm.
Good God, that blue D was a swarm in the backfield. Our wide receivers were driving me nuts all game. So the drops I would have been pulling my hair out too, not gonna lie to you. Especially that one in the end zone where he's like, doop. Oh. Whoops. Hey, shout out to that sideline, man. That guy was out of bounds by a smidgen.
He was wearing white shoes. He's in.
I'm saying. Michigan was more physical, poor tackling than the Huskers. Huskers not big enough for Allen. Needs to get rid of the ball much quicker. Agree on all fronts. Don't forget about
average time to throw is like 2.6 seconds.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did talk about that one. Unfortunately, we did. Isaiah, come on, buddy. Nebraska could protect Raiola. They win this game. Nebraska could do a lot of things to win this game.
Yeah.
Michigan was sloppy tackling. Also, I felt like
they were a lot better.
I don't think so. I disagree. I didn't see a lot of missed tackles out there for Michigan.
In comparison to Nebraska, for sure.
In general, I just didn't see a lot of missed tackles for them. I'll go back and watch it. I could be wrong. I'll go back and watch it though. Can't wait till imagine if they did have a big play wide receiver, like a sure one wide receiver.
Yeah, number one was decent, but he didn't seem like a guy that
the problem with Michigan. Well, the problem with Michigan is they haven't had like anybody solidify themselves as the one. I talked about kind of their wide receiver core. Like, they've had guys who have stepped up and played well, but nobody's really solidified themselves as that one guy, as that top guy. So
where you're like at Nebraska, at least you're seeing that with Ja'Cory and Luke Linden.
Yeah,
I think.
Where were the safeties? Well, don't forget Dane Key's the wide receiver one. I'm just playing. No, but we'll see when the season plays out. But Ja'Cory, I think Ja'Cory's going to get the most targets, of course.
More volume for sure.
He's got the more ways to be utilized. Where were the safeties? Well, they were there.
That's a great question. Where
they
were
they?
Out
there. One of them was hurt. So good pause, Bri. Safeties took snack breaks. Fred, why you got is that a military ID? I see. Is that a CAC card? that we call them CAC cards. So if you hear me say CAC, it means common access card. It looks like a military common CAC card. But well, I guess I'm a Wolverine and a Sooner fan the rest of the season. There's worse. How dare you?
No way.
Sooners. I mean, I'm not a Wolverine. I'm not going to be a Wolverine guy just because like too many of my friends are Michigan fans and like kind of got to keep the shit talk up with them. To be honest, dude, they win that championship whether they cheat or not. Like, I don't know, man. I think everybody went crazy on that. But I'm also an Astros fan, so
bias.
Yeah, a little bit. A slap on the wrist is fine. I was always taught tackle the belly button. Well, the belly button, if you tackle the belly button, that would be the hips. So,
oh, you're gone.
Back.
Where'd you go? Oh, okay.
The belly button would essentially be tackling the hip. So yeah, despite the loss, I feel we're in a good spot. I do too. We won't see another pass rush like that until maybe Penn State. We won't see another pass rush like that until Penn State. Maryland looked explosive today. I did talk about how Maryland is a potentially explosive team, and holy cow, did they look explosive today? They
Trap game.
Wisconsin badly.
But does Wisconsin also suck? Because I think they do.
They do. But again, Maryland's offense showed that they can be explosive. And so that but again, I don't think I don't think we're going to struggle against a lot of teams until we get to USC's, Penn State's. That type of thing. Minnesota did not look good this past weekend. So their quarterback not good at all.
Isn't he a freshman too?
No. I don't think so. I think he transferred in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
so
up their stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's an upperclassman, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not, but Minnesota's game looks a lot easier on the schedule to me. I will say that because they lost to Cal. D-line needs to put rocks. They lost by 2 scores. Cal. They scored 14 points. They did not look good at all. That's a bad. Minnesota's not a good team. I'm sorry. They won't see a front like Michigan's maybe until USC and Penn State. Yeah, I don't think USC's going to be a tough test. I'm not sure how their front is compared. I don't think they have a Jayshon Barham type of player on their team. Our lads accounted well for themselves. Not perfect, maybe not even good. This was a ball game. And it ain't going to hurt the recruiting. Look at this in the Mastodon of the D-line. Facts. Daddy was screaming while you're gone. I think Nebraska lost.
Can confirm.
Yeah, Nebraska lost. Michigan kicker is very, very good. That was no surprise. That the fact that he had missed a couple kicks this year was a surprise to me because that dude was money. He is money.
That one kick would have been good from 65 easy.
That's an NFL kick. Like you just got to tip your hat at that one. You hit the mid back of the net. Like if that was the All-State hands back there and the logo, like he would have hit it right in the All-State hands.
Yeah.
Dylan could have gotten rid of the ball quicker. He was looking for the big play in moments. I'm not going to put too much on him because he had a lot on his plate today and he was dealing with a lot. At the end of the day, our kicker missed and there's hit. Our wide receiver stepped out of the back of the end zone. That's it. Can't leave points in the field. Well, there's stepped out of bounds. So it was a good catch, but you have a good point. Should have ran a quick game to help Dylan out earlier. We did. We were running the quick pass. We were passing fast early on.
His average yards per completion was like 7.5, I think.
And early in the game, like those were quick passes. Like the ball was getting out of his hands quickly. The problem is sometimes he was holding on to it a little bit long. Go Joe. Love that profile. Oh, probably our friend Joseph. Dude, he barely had any time to do anything. The wide receiver. Yes.
There was one play where he was like engulfed in Michigan D lineman within a second of the snap. And I was like, what is going on?
Look at this logic. That's why he needs to get rid of it quicker. No O-line. The routes have to develop, my friend. They have to, they have to run their routes. It's not like they appear in the field.
Yeah. It's like, and then if they start running a bunch of hitch routes and that coverage comes down and then you have linemen in your face and no one open.
We got Otto blaming the quarterback since he has no O-line, just tell him to get rid of it quicker and then saying always go for points. So that's where we're at with those takes. We take the points. We in OT right now.
Okay, so I love
because if we take the points,
revisionist history here because
you cut out. Hold on, reset. Sorry, you cut out for a second. Okay, go ahead with your point first.
I love revisionist history because if we kick that field goal, okay, it is 30-30 right now, and Michigan had the ball last. And they were in the clock out. They do not do that. That's just that possession. That changes the whole course of the entire game.
Can I be honest with you? It's not even necessarily 30-30 right now because they took 3. They would have went for a touchdown that last drive. They were being conservative on that last drive, running with Bryce those couple times. They would have went for 7 there. So, like, again, revisionist history. This stuff is so tired. It's tiring, dude. It's so tiring.
Yeah.
Golly. It's not because I'm the only one that's willing to stand up here and say, like, no, it's not a bad decision. Everybody is wanting to do the hindsight's 2020 thing. It's not the 4th down call screwed us, not run the ball. Thank you. If you tackle Like that means nothing to me. Going for a fourth down is such a small microcosm of this game that doesn't even like really stick out to me that much. Pretty tired of EJ running right. Okay, we're not going to slander EJ here. I'm not here for that.
Yeah, he actually had a decent day. He averaged, 65 yards. He averaged about 4 yards a carry. It's not bad.
Ear with my sister shit through the whole first half. Fatherhood's bullshit. Give credit where it's due. Number one for Michigan is dude. I try to tell y'all. If you watch this live show, if you watch this pregame, you knew all about Jayshon Barham. So I couldn't figure out what they were doing. There's a reason I specifically pointed out how they were using him against Central Michigan and Oklahoma. I couldn't figure out what they were doing at the end of the first half of the clock, but it sure worked. Me neither. That's what I told Brian. I texted Brian. I said, you should not have tweeted that. But I agree, but it worked out. And that's why you should have tweeted.